The war was no longer about defense. Now it was survival. And survival meant striking first, even if that meant sending humans deep into the heart of enemy space. Dangerous orders. In Earth's underground war room, General Victor Kane stood before a large digital map. Red dots showed Zoltec fleets moving closer to human colonies. Next to him, Commander Lisa Grant and her Shadowfang team stood, tired but ready. Kane's voice was low but firm. "You brought us valuable data, but we need more." He pointed at one red dot on the map. "This is the Zoltec primary command shipyard. That's where they're building their lethally dangerous superweapon." Everyone stared. It was deep inside Zoltec space. Far beyond, human-controlled sectors full of enemy patrols, dangerous drones, and alien war fleets. Commander Grant understood. "You want us to go there?" Kane nodded. "Infiltrate. Steal full blueprints. Find the weapon's weakness. And, if possible, sabotage it." The room fell silent. Everyone knew this was an extremely dangerous mission, possibly a one-way trip. Grant saluted. "We'll get it done." Preparing for the infiltration. Inside the Shadowfang hangar, technicians worked fast. The stealth shuttle, codenamed Go-7, was fitted with signal jammers, cloaking fields, EMP grenades, high-explosive charges, emergency teleport beacons. Experimental and unreliable, each soldier checked their weapons twice. Commander Grant walked past her team, inspecting each member. Sergeant Mason, her heavy weapons expert, grinned. "Ready for another dangerous walk in the park, ma'am?" Private Diaz, the tech specialist, adjusted his hacking device. "If I die, I'm haunting you," he joked. Grant smiled faintly. "Nobody dies. Not today." But deep inside, she knew some of them might not come back. Entering dangerous territory, Ghost 7 lifted off from the lunar base. It slipped into hyperspace, flying low and fast, avoiding known Zoltec patrol routes. Inside the shuttle, the team sat silently, checking gear and reviewing the shipyard blueprints. Suddenly, Private Diaz whispered, "We're walking into something dangerously unknown." No one replied. Everyone felt it. They were entering dangerous territory, both physically and mentally. Arrival, the enemy shipyard. After a tense 12-hour flight, Ghost 7 dropped out of hyperspace, hidden in the shadow of a dead moon. Before them, the Zoltec shipyard floated like a massive metal spider, arms stretching kilometers long. Hundreds of enemy ships docked nearby. Defensive turrets, patrol drones, sensor grids. One mistake, and they would all die. Stealth entry. Using the moon's electromagnetic interference, Ghost 7 slipped closer. Commander Grant led her team out through an airlock, wearing magnetic boots and stealth armor. They moved across the cold metal surface, sticking to the shadows, avoiding patrol drones. Sergeant Mason planted signal jammers along the way. Diaz hacked a service port, opening a maintenance hatch. One by one, the humans slipped inside the enemy station. Inside the beast, the corridors were narrow, dimly lit, and smelled of burnt ozone. Alien engineers and soldiers walked nearby, but the Shadowfang team stayed hidden, moving like ghosts. Diaz whispered, "Security is tight, motion sensors everywhere. I'll need time to bypass." Grant nodded. "Take your time, one wrong move. This place turns extremely dangerous real fast." The discovery, the superweapon blueprint. Finally they reached the central data core. Diaz connected his device, typing fast, bypassing alien FIREWALLS. "After 10 stressful minutes, I'm in," Diaz whispered. He downloaded terabytes of data. Sudden realization hit him. Oh my, this weapon. It's not just one laser. It's a planet buster. One shot, Earth will be gone. The entire team froze. Commander Grant clenched her jaw. "We need to sabotage it." Sabotage mission begins. Using the downloaded blueprints, they found the main reactor control room. Mason planted demolition charges along the primary fuel lines. Diaz uploaded a virus into the shipyard's targeting systems. But then, everything went wrong. An alien patrol walked in. Sirens blared red. Emergency lights flooded the corridor. The Zoltec soldiers raised weapons. The humans had been caught. Fight for survival. Commander Grant didn't hesitate. Weapons free. Gunfire erupted. Explosions shook the hallways. Shadowfang fought like demons. 2 aliens fell. Then for more, but Sergeant Mason was hit in the shoulder. Private Lee, their sniper, covered the rear, taking down enemies with deadly shots. But more Zoltec troops flooded in. "We're walking into something highly dangerous now," Mason shouted. The final escape. With no time left, Grant gave the order, "Blow the charges." Mason smiled through the pain and triggered the detonator. A chain reaction tore through. The shipyard. Fuel lines exploded. Power grids shut down. Alien ships nearby turned dark, drifting helplessly. Through the chaos, Shadow Fang sprinted back towards their shuttle. Diaz barely managed to activate the emergency teleport beacon. A bright flash engulfed them back on Earth minutes later. Shadow Fang materialized inside Earth's teleport bay. Doctors rushed in to treat the injured. General Kane and President Graves arrived, looking shocked. Kane asked, "Did you get it?" Grant handed him the data drive. "Blueprints. Weaknesses. Sabotage done, but they'll repair fast." The president stared at the screen as the files loaded, her face turned pale. "This is worse than we thought. The weapon is almost operational. Preparing for the next move." General Kane looked at Grant. "You did well, but now we need to destroy that weapon completely." He turned to his officers. "Prepare the fleet. Ready the warheads. Next target, the Zoltec superweapon." President Graves stepped forward. Her voice was like steel. "They pushed us into a dangerous corner. Now, we show them how dangerous humans can really become." The stolen data was now in Earth's hands. But what it showed shocked everyone. The truth about the superweapon inside the Earth Defense Command Center. General Victor Kane stood frozen. Large screens displayed alien blueprints. The superweapon was far worse than anyone had imagined. It wasn't just a giant laser, it was a graviton core disruptor. A single shot could tear apart a planet's core, causing total planetary destruction. In simple words, one shot, and Earth would explode from the inside. President Alina Graves whispered, "We're not just in a dangerous situation, we're facing planetary annihilation." Countdown begins. General Kane's voice turned grim. "Based on the data, they'll finish weapon assembly in 72 hours, a technician added. "And after that, it only takes 1 minute to fire." The room went silent. Earth had only 3 days left to stop it, and the aliens knew humans would come for them, which meant the Zoltec were already reinforcing their shipyard. Thousands of enemy warships were gathering, a defense so thick it was called the Death Ring. Dangerous mission planning, admirals, generals, and Earth's top strategists gathered in the war room. On the holomap, red rings showed enemy defense layers. General Kane slammed his fist on the table. "This is a suicide mission, but we have no choice." President Graves nodded. "Every fleet, every soldier, every dangerous weapon we have, we send them all." The operation got a name. Operation Planet Shield, because failure meant no planet left to shield. The human fleet assembles across the solar system. Earth's entire military machine roared to life. Massive battleships left Mars docks. Stealth cruisers regrouped from Titan. Missile carriers loaded nuclear warheads from lunar base to Saturn's orbit. Humanity prepared for its most dangerous mission ever. Soldiers wrote letters to families. Pilots checked their fighters one last time. Engineers worked non-stop to repair damaged ships. Even civilian volunteers signed up for emergency roles. Everyone knew this was it, the first attack wave. Captain Andre Holt led the first strike. His battleship, the Revenant, jumped out of hyperspace, right on the edge of the Death Ring. All ships, weapons hot, shields up, were walking straight into extremely dangerous territory. Within seconds, Zoltec defenses opened fire. Massive plasma beams crossed space. Hundreds of alien fighters charged toward the humans, but Earth's fleet didn't stop. Missiles flew, railguns roared. Fighters weaved through enemy lines. The battle became chaotic, lethally dangerous for both sides. Heavy casualties. One by one, human ships took heavy damage. Explosions filled space. The USS Solaris, Earth's oldest cruiser, was torn apart by a direct hit. Dozens of pilots went down. Even Captain Holt's ship took massive hull damage. On the bridge, warning lights flashed red. Hull breach on decks 3 and 4. Shields failing. Reactor overheating. But Holt refused to retreat. "Push forward. Get us close enough to launch the ground teams." The goal was clear. Shadowfang and other special ops units needed to land on the shipyard and destroy the superweapon's core. The ground assault, amidst the space battle chaos. Dozens of drop pods launched from human ships. Commander Lisa Grant and her Shadow Fang team were inside one of them. The pod shook violently as enemy flak tore through the atmosphere. Sergeant Mason held onto his seat. This mission just turned highly dangerous. The pod slammed onto the shipyard surface. Metal groaned. Smoke filled the air. The hatch opened, and all hell broke loose. Zoltec ground forces were waiting heavy. Plasma fire pinned the humans down, but Shadowfang moved fast. Grenades flew, Bullets ripped through enemy armor. Commander Grant yelled. We didn't come this far to die now. Move. Race against time while battles raged in space and on the ground. Inside the superweapons core, alien engineers were finishing the final energy calibration. One Zoltec commander barked orders. Start the countdown. Fire on Earth the moment we're ready. On the main screen, a giant red timer appeared. T-minus 58 minutes. Dangerous decision. Full sacrifice. Back. In orbit, Captain Holt received the update. Time was running out. Holt turned to his crew. We're out of time. I want every remaining ship to focus fire on that shipyard. His second-in-command stared at him. Sir, that means flying straight into their heavy guns. It's suicide. Holt's reply was cold and steady. Already dead if that weapon fires. Let's make it count. Human ships formed up, even damaged vessels, turned toward the target. They powered engines and prepared for a final charge. The final push on the ground. Shadowfang fought toward the core, kicked open a blast door. Diaz set explosives on the coolant lines. Commander Grant fired her last magazine, covering her team. All around them, walls cracked, energy fields overloaded. The superweapons core started to destabilize. Diaz yelled, "It's gonna blow, and we're standing too close." Grant grabbed her comm unit. Shadowfang to all units. Mission complete. Evacuate now. The explosion. At that moment, the human fleet above unleashed everything. Thousands of missiles, railgun slugs, torpedo swarms. The Zoltec shipyard took hit after hit. Inside the core, Shadowfang's explosives detonated. A massive chain reaction started. The entire superweapon lit up like a sun-going supernova for a brief moment. The entire sector went white with light. Aftermath: in the control center on Earth. Screens went static for a few seconds, and one blurry camera feed came back online. It showed the Zoltec shipyard, gone. Nothing left but drifting debris. Cheering erupted across Earth's space. Admirals hugged each other. Soldiers cried with relief. President Graves stood, eyes wet, and whispered, "They played a dangerous game, and we just showed them how dangerous humans can be." Casualties and survivors. Many human ships were lost. Hundreds of soldiers didn't make it. For hours, Earth Command waited, searching for survivors. Suddenly, a broken dropship drifted into view. Inside, Shadowfang, injured, bleeding, but alive. Commander Grant smiled weakly as medics carried her out. "Told you we wouldn't die today. The war isn't over." But deep in Zoltec space, survivors of the alien High Council gathered. One alien leader stared at the screen showing Earth's victory. "We underestimated them. They proved more dangerous than we imagined." Another leader spoke. "Now we plan something even more dangerous." The superweapon was destroyed, but the war was far from over. Zoltec High Command preparing a dangerous retaliation in the dark chambers of the Zoltec homeworld. The alien leaders sat in a war council. Their faces showed rage and humiliation. Commander slammed his fist on the table. "The humans destroyed our most powerful weapon. They have proved extremely dangerous." Another voice added, "We must show them. Zoltec Empire never surrenders." The council made a deadly decision. Unleash the Blood Hunters. The Blood Hunters were the Zoltec's most feared warriors, trained for infiltration, assassination, and planetary terror that had not been used for a century. Until now. Earth detects new movement. Back on Earth, inside the War Command Center, General Kane received a disturbing report. A scout drone near the edge of human space sent strange images. Small Zoltec ships moving fast, staying under radar, heading straight for Earth's colonies. The admiral on duty turned pale. "Sir, it's them. The Blood Hunters." Kane's voice turned serious. "We're now facing an incredibly dangerous threat. Civilian colonies in danger." The Blood Hunters landed silently on multiple human colonies. They attacked without warning. Small towns turned into war zones overnight. Power stations destroyed, communication centers cut off civilian leaders, assassinated people panicked. Families ran for shelters. Children cried as buildings burned. Local security forces fought back but suffered heavy losses. One colony governor shouted into a broken radio, "We're being hunted. This is a highly dangerous situation." The dangerous counterplan. President Graves called for an emergency meeting. Her face looked tired but determined. "We can't fight the Blood Hunters like normal enemies. They hide, they ambush, they disappear." General Kane suggested a dangerous solution. "We send in Captain Drake." A brief silence followed. Captain Drake was Earth's most dangerous pilot, a man known for taking suicidal missions and surviving. His last mission destroyed half his ship, but he completed it. Some said he was lucky. Others said he was just that dangerous. Captain Drake returns. Inside a military hospital, Captain Drake sat near a window, staring at the sky. His body was still healing from burns and broken bones, but when the call came, he didn't hesitate. Drake stood, grabbed his flight jacket, and walked out. His first words to the nurse: "Time to get back into something dangerous." Dangerous mission. Operation Silent Reaper. Drake's mission was clear: track the blood hunters, engage them before they reached Earth itself, destroy them at any cost. Inside his rebuilt fighter ship, the Black Viper, Drake powered up the engines. His co-pilot, Lieutenant Sarah Cross, joined him. She checked the weapon systems. "Sir, this mission is beyond dangerous." Drake smiled. "That's why they called me." The space chase, tracking the blood hunters, wasn't easy. They used stealth fields, false signals, and decoys, but Drake and Sarah stayed on their trail, through asteroid fields, through radiation storms, through dangerous territory. They pushed their ship to the limit. During one close encounter, alien fighters ambushed them near a gas giant. Missiles flew, energy blasts tore through space. Drake pulled insane maneuvers, flying through a narrow canyon on the planet's surface, dodging rock walls by inches. Sarah yelled, "We're playing a dangerous game, sir." Drake just laughed. "That's my specialty." Blood hunters cornered. Finally, they found the blood hunters preparing to launch a final strike on Earth's largest space station, Horizon Base. Hundreds of civilians were on board. If the blood hunters succeeded, thousands would die. Drake opened comms. "This ends now." He launched every missile. His railguns fired non-stop. The blood hunters fought back fiercely. Their ships were fast and unpredictable, but Drake and Sarah didn't back down. The Black Viper took damage. Smoke filled the cockpit. Alarms screamed. Still they pushed forward. Dangerous decision. Sacrifice move. Drake realized something horrible. The blood hunters had activated a self-destruct chain. That plan wasn't just to kill people. Wanted to blow up the entire station. Time left. 5 minutes. Sarah shouted. "Sir, there's only one way. We fly straight into their lead ship and detonate our payload at close range." Drake paused for 1 second, then nodded. "Strap in. We're walking into something lethally dangerous." With engines at full power, the Black Viper screamed through space, straight towards the enemy flagship, under heavy fire. Wings burning, systems failing. Drake aimed and fired. The explosion. The impact triggered a massive chain reaction. One by one, the blood hunter ships exploded. The shockwaves spread across space. Inside Horizon Base, people watched the light show, crying and cheering. Drake's ship disappeared inside the explosion. For a moment, everyone thought he was gone, but then a faint distress signal came through. It was Sarah. "This is Lieutenant Cross. Captain Drake is alive. Barely, but alive." Emergency teams rushed to pick them up. Aftermath: back on Earth. President Graves addressed the planet. "Our enemies sent their most dangerous hunters, and they failed. They played a dangerous game, and now, humanity is the most dangerous force in the galaxy." Earth's people cheered, but deep in the cold reaches of space, the Zoltec Empire was already planning something worse. The blood hunters had failed. The super weapon was gone, but the Zoltec Empire was not finished yet. Zoltec High Council, dangerous new plans on the Zoltec homeworld. Inside a dark war chamber, the alien leaders stood around a large holodash map. Their fleets, their weapons, their best warriors, all had failed against the humans. One Zoltec commander hissed, "The humans, they have become more dangerous than we expected." Another replied, "We underestimated them now. We take off all limits." The council activated their last option, Project Nightfall. It was a secret project, something so extremely dangerous, even the Zoltec military had feared using it. But now, they had no choice. The unleashing of the Nightfall fleet across Zoltec space. Massive hangars opened. Dozens of black dreadnoughts emerged. These ships were bigger, stronger, faster, and each one carried planet cracker warheads at the center of the fleet. A ship called the Devourer. Its mission: total destruction of Earth. Earth detects the new threat. Inside Earth Defense Command, General Kane stared at the incoming data stream. His eyes widened. Radar images showed hundreds of unknown enemy ships, moving fast, burning towards Earth at terrifying speed. The AI analysis labeled it, threat level, catastrophic, incredibly dangerous fleet detected. President Graves called an emergency meeting. "How long until they reach us?" she asked. A technician answered, "They'll be in Earth orbit in 48 hours. A cold silence filled the room. Earth's response: last defense, General Kane gave immediate orders. Activate the planetary shield network. Massive shield generators across Earth powered up. Orbital cannons moved into firing position. The human fleet, badly damaged from previous battles, scrambled for emergency repairs. Civilians were moved to underground bunkers. Children cried. Families hugged. Everyone knew this would be Earth's most dangerous fight. Captain Holt, still recovering from injuries, stood from his hospital bed. I'm not sitting this one out. He walked towards the nearest flight deck. Zoltec invasion begins. 48 hours later, the sky above Earth turned black. The Nightfall fleet dropped out of hyperspace. Hundreds of black warships filled the atmosphere. Devourer aimed its weapons at Earth. Zoltec commanders sent a final message. Humans, prepare for total annihilation. Without waiting, the Zoltec opened fire. Energy beams slammed into Earth's shield network. Cities shook. Mountains cracked. Power grids overloaded. Earth's defenses held, but only just. The battle had begun. Dangerous. Close combat. In orbit, Earth's ships charged. Fighters weaved between enemy dreadnoughts. Captain Holt, piloting a newly rebuilt battleship, the Valiant, led the charge. All units full assault. Show them how dangerous humans are. Fired missiles launched. Space turned into a deadly battlefield. Zoltec fighters swarmed human ships. Dogfights exploded across the sky. Even civilian transport ships joined the defense. Using jury-rigged weapons, it was total war. Shadowfang's new mission. On the ground, Commander Lisa Grant and her Shadowfang team received a new mission. Board the Devourer. Disable its main weapon. Or die trying. General Kane briefed them. We don't have time for planning. You leave now. Get inside that ship. Stop it. Grant nodded. Another dangerous mission. Just how we like it. Her team launched in stealth pods, flying straight towards the Devourer under heavy enemy fire. Boarding the Devourer, Shadowfang breached the hull of the enemy dreadnought. Inside, chaos. Zoltec soldiers everywhere. Automatic defense drones, flamethrower units. Sergeant Mason kicked open a door and unleashed grenade fire. Diaz hacked through security panels under heavy fire. Grant pushed her team forward. Move. This ship's about to become extremely dangerous for everyone inside. The battle in Earth's atmosphere. Meanwhile, in low orbit, the Devourer charged its main cannon. Bright red energy built at the front of the ship. Target Earth's largest city, New Berlin. Timer, 3 minutes. Captain Holt saw the charge building. If Shadowfang doesn't disable that gun, millions will die. His ship turned towards the Devourer. We're walking into a lethally dangerous situation, but we have no choice. The Valiant accelerated at full speed, straight towards the enemy dreadnought. Shadowfang's last push. Inside the Devourer, Shadowfang reached the main weapon core. Dozens of Zoltec soldiers stood in their way. Plasma bolts filled the air. Commander Grant pulled out her last explosive charge. Cover me, she shouted. With bullets and lasers flying. She ran forward, placed the charge, and triggered the timer. The final explosion. Just as the Devourer's main cannon reached full power, the explosive charge inside the core detonated. Massive explosion tore through the ship. The energy buildup reversed, creating a chain reaction. The entire dreadnought broke apart. Fire, debris, and shattered metal rained from orbit. Zoltec fleets nearby began to retreat. Humanity stands, victorious, from underground bunkers, from orbiting stations, from burning cities. Humans watched the alien fleet scatter. Cheers erupted across the planet. Earth had survived. Again, but at great cost. Aftermath. General Kane stood beside President Graves. We pushed them back, but they'll come again. President Graves looked at the sky. Let them next time will be even more dangerous. Far away in deep space, the last surviving Zoltec commanders plotted in secret. One of them said, we entered dangerous territory, and now we unleashed something worse. The camera zoomed out. The galaxy now feared humanity. For over 100 years, peace had ruled the space between Earth and the Zoltec Empire. The peace treaty of Solnine was clear. No war, no invasion, no weapons in neutral space. Both sides signed it. Both sides honored it. Or so the humans thought. The first signal in the dark silence of space. Deep near the border, listening station E12 stood like a lonely guardian. Inside, Officer Mia Torres sipped her cold coffee. Her screens were filled with normal readings. Distant comets, passing cargo ships, nothing dangerous. Suddenly her screen blinked red. An unknown transmission crackled through the speakers. The voice was alien, harsh, full of hate. Move the fleet into human territory. No mercy, no warnings. They won't see it coming. Mia froze. Her heart raced. She grabbed the emergency command. This is Station E12. I just intercepted a hostile transmission. I repeat, hostile, possible breach of treaty. But by the time Earth Command received the message, it was already too late. The first attack. 2 hours later, near Colony V7, the peaceful blue sky turned black dot out of nowhere. Zoltec warships appeared. Without warning, without a declaration, without mercy. They opened fire. Laser beams scorched the atmosphere. Massive explosions lit up the colony. Buildings fell. Civilians screamed. Children ran for cover. Parents tried to protect their families. The Zoltec were not just attacking, they were exterminating. Colonel Ray Mercer, head of the Vega 7 defense, grabbed his rifle. He looked at the incoming ships. His face turned pale. This is an extremely dangerous situation, he shouted. Knew the colony's small defense force was no match. Still, they fought back. Earth's reaction. Back on Earth. The United Human Defense Council met in panic. Screens showed live footage from Vega-7.x. AL-Tech troops stormed the streets. Civilians captured. Soldiers killed. The colony burned. President Elena Graves stood up. Her voice shook with controlled rage. They crossed the line, she said. They broke the treaty. The room fell silent. An admiral stood up. Madam President, what's your order? She turned toward him. Activate the incredibly dangerous response plan. Operation Black Storm. Operation Black Storm. Hidden deep under Earth's surface, Operation Black Storm had been humanity's secret weapon for decades. It was created for one purpose only. If the aliens ever betrayed the peace, Earth would strike back with full force. Humanity's most dangerous soldiers, the most dangerous weapons, all mobilized for war within minutes. Human fleets launched from lunar bases. Stealth bombers cloaked and moved towards enemy space. Black Ops teams received their classified orders. The entire solar system moved into war mode. The first human counterattack, near the border, Task Force Reaper, led by Captain Andre Holt, engaged the first Zoltec fleet. Holt sat in his battleship command chair, staring at the enemy formation. They think we'll play defense, he said with a cold smile. Wrong. Let's show them what happens when you push humans into a dangerous corner. The Reaper fleet charged. Railguns fired with lethal precision. Missile swarms lit the void. Fighter squadrons performed impossible maneuvers. The Zoltec commanders were shocked. Their weapons, they're more dangerous than expected, screamed a Zoltec officer. Within 20 minutes, the first alien dreadnought exploded, torn apart by human firepower. Civilian panic and fear on Earth. News channels switched to 24/7 war coverage. Reporters stood in bunkers, delivering updates with fear in their voices. Citizens of Earth, we are now officially at war, the news anchor said. The Zoltec Empire has broken the 100-year peace. Human forces are now responding. Panic buying began. People ran to shelters. Old veterans dusted off their uniforms, ready to fight again. Mothers cried. Fathers prepared. The galaxy had just turned into a highly dangerous place for everyone. Behind enemy lines, meanwhile, deep inside enemy space, a small human spy satellite sent a final encrypted transmission. Its blurry images showed something terrifying: massive alien shipyards, thousands of Zoltec warships being built, super pantanes, unlike anything Earth had seen before. The message ended with one line: if they finish building, we won't survive. Earth's final decision, end hook. President Graves gathered her top generals. She looked each of them in the eye. No more talking, she said. No more treaties. Her voice grew stronger. They broke the peace. They entered dangerous territory. Now we become their most incredibly dangerous enemy. The generals nodded. Orders went out across Earth's space. Prepare for full-scale war. Earth mobilizes. Inside the underground command center, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Officers rushed between control panels. On the giant screen, live satellite footage showed Zoltec fleets moving deeper into human space. President Elena Graves stood at the center. Her voice was clear and cold. This is not defense anymore. This is counterattack. She turned to General Victor Kane. Launch Operation Black Storm. General Kane nodded. All over the solar system, Earth's most dangerous fleets, secret units, and weapons woke from the shadows. Dangerous weapons released. Massive human battleships, hidden under the ice of Europa, powered up. Stealth cruisers, parked inside hollow asteroids, came online. Orbital railgun platforms near Mars aimed their cannons towards the stars. Captain Andre Holt, leading Task Force Reaper, received the order on his console. You are cleared to engage. Show no mercy, he smiled grimly. Time to show them why humans are considered incredibly dangerous. The first counterattack at the border of human and Zoltec space. Task Force Reaper jumped out of hyperspace, right behind the alien fleet. Aliens were not expecting this. Without warning, human railguns opened fire. Hundreds of torpedoes streaked across space. EMP blasts shut down enemy sensors. Zoltec ships twisted and turned, trying to escape. But it was too late. In less than 10 minutes, 3 Zoltec destroyers were reduced to burning debris. The human ships kept pushing forward, ignoring damage, ignoring casualties. Captain Holt shouted into the comms. They wanted war. Let's give them a highly dangerous war. Special Ops, Shadowfang's mission while the main fleet attacked. A Black Ops unit called Shadowfang prepared for a dangerous mission. Their goal, infiltrate the Zoltec flagship, steal invasion plans, get out alive. Commander Lisa Grant led the team. Inside their small stealth shuttle, she briefed her soldiers. Listen up. This is a highly dangerous mission. No backup, no second chances. If we fail, Earth won't know where the next attack will come from. Her team nodded. They were the best. They knew the risks. Moments later, the shuttle slipped into stealth mode and disappeared into the dark. The Zoltec response. On the alien side, panic spread fast. The Zoltec admiral, sitting inside his warship, pounded the control panel. How did the humans hit us so fast? How did they know our fleet position? A junior officer stammered. Sir, their weapons, their tactics. It's like they've been preparing for this war for years. The admiral's face darkened. We entered dangerous territory and woke a dangerous enemy. He ordered reinforcements. Dozens of Zoltec ships prepared to jump towards the human fleet. Human fleet pushes forward. Task Force Reaper kept moving deeper into enemy space. Captain Holt reviewed battle reports. Human casualties, light. Enemy losses, heavy. But Holt knew this wasn't over. He turned to his second and we're playing a dangerous game here. Going this far into enemy space, the officer replied. Sir, that's what humans do best. Both men laughed, but inside, they felt the weight of the coming danger. Shadowfang boards the enemy flagship. Meanwhile, Shadowfang's stealth shuttle docked silently onto the side of the Zoltec flagship. The team breached the hull and entered. Inside. It was dark and hot. Alien lights flickered. Strange smells filled the air. Commander Grant whispered, move fast. Get the data, get out. The team moved like ghosts. But as they reached the data core, an alarm went off. Red lights filled the corridors. Suddenly, doors slammed shut. Zoltec soldiers poured in from all sides. Heavy weapons, energy shields. The humans were trapped. Close quarter battle. Humans fight back. The Shadowfang team didn't panic. They opened fire. Grenades exploded. Bullets tore through alien armor. The humans pushed forward, fighting with brutal skill. But the aliens released something else. A dangerous creature, bred for one purpose. Kill intruders. The walls shook as the monster charged. 8 feet tall, covered in armor-like skin, red eyes glowing. Commander Grant cursed. We're walking into something highly dangerous. Stay sharp. Her team switched to high-caliber weapons. The fight turned bloody. Extraction against all odds. Shadowfang fought their way to the data core. They downloaded the invasion plans. But to soldiers fell. Commander Grant dragged the injured out. The surviving team sprinted back to the shuttle. With alien ships firing at them, the shuttle blasted away, disappearing into hyperspace. They had succeeded, but at a heavy cost. New intel, a bigger threat uncovered. Back on Earth, the stolen alien data was decrypted. The news shocked everyone. The Zoltec were not planning small attacks. They were building something far worse. A lethally dangerous superweapon. General Kane read the report aloud. If they finish building this, Earth won't survive. President Graves stood. Her decision was immediate. We have no choice. We attack first. Full scale, no holding back. The room went silent. Then she spoke again. Prepare for the next phase. We're about to enter extremely dangerous territory. The Nightfall fleet was destroyed. The Devourer gone. Earth had survived. Again, but now, it was humanity's turn to attack. No more defense now, full attack. Inside Earth's War Command Center, General Kane stood before the large HOLO-map. Red enemy positions flashed across Zoltec space. For too long, Earth had been reacting. Now, it was time to strike back. President Graves gave her final order. Mobilize every fleet, every soldier, every dangerous weapon we have. From this moment, we take the war to them. The entire command room cheered. Operation Iron Fist. The operation had one goal: invade Zoltec space, destroy their shipyards, hit their capital world, force surrender. Earth's largest fleet in history gathered near Saturn's orbit. Over 600 warships, hundreds of fighter squadrons, experimental weapons that had never been tested in real battle. Mission was simple: push into extremely dangerous territory. And don't stop. Captain Holt, ready for war. Captain Andre Holt stood on the bridge of the Valiant, now fully repaired and upgraded. His crew stood ready. His voice roared through the ship's speakers. We played defense long enough. Now we're becoming the most dangerous enemy they've ever seen. Cheers echoed through the ship. Shadowfang joins the fleet. Commander Lisa Grant and her Shadowfang team also prepared for deployment. Their mission: infiltrate the Zoltec capital planet, disable planetary defenses, make the invasion possible. Sergeant Mason loaded extra explosives. Private Diaz worked on advanced hacking tools. Grant checked her rifle and said, "We survived too many dangerous missions to stop now. The dangerous invasion begins." The human fleet jumped into hyperspace. Moments later they dropped out, right inside Zoltec territory. Alarms blared across alien space stations. Thousands of Zoltec ships scrambled to intercept the largest space. Battle of the War began. Earth's battleships opened fire. Torpedo swarms filled the void. Railguns lit up the darkness. Fighter squadrons dogfought enemy interceptors. Space turned into a sea of fire, fighting through heavy defenses. The humans pushed forward, kilometer by kilometer. For every enemy ship destroyed, another took its place. Earth's admirals knew this was turning into an extremely dangerous battle of attrition. Captain Holt ordered his fleet deeper. We didn't come this far to back off. Shadowfang's infiltration mission. While the fleet fought outside, Shadowfang launched their stealth shuttles. Their target: the Zoltec Planetary Defense Grid Command Center, buried deep underground on the enemy capital world. As they entered the atmosphere, anti-air fire lit the sky. 2 shuttles were hit. Shadowfang's shuttle took damage, but held together. Commander Grant yelled, "We're walking straight into lethally dangerous territory. No turning back." Underground battle inside the bunker complex. Shadowfang fought room by room. Alien soldiers, combat drones, defense turrets. The team pushed forward, using grenades, close-range rifles, and brutal tactics. Private Diaz hacked doors under fire. Sergeant Mason cleared hallways with heavy weapons. Commander Grant led the charge, ignoring wounds, ignoring fear, turning off the defenses. After hours of brutal fighting, covered in blood and dust, Shadowfang reached the central control room. Diaz worked fast, shutting down planetary shields. Now the alien defense grid fell silent. For the first time in history, Earth's fleet had a clear shot at the Zoltec capital world. Earth's final attack, in orbit. Captain Holt received the signal: planetary shields down, target is open. Without waiting, he ordered every ship to open fire. Massive orbital strikes began. Missiles rained from the sky. Zoltec command centers exploded. Military bases burned. Alien airfields turned to dust. Zoltec leaders cornered, inside their underground palace. The Zoltec High Council realized the truth. Their fleets were broken, their defenses offline, their people panicked. One alien leader whispered, "We pushed the humans too far. Now they've turned into our most dangerous nightmare." The council ordered emergency evacuation, but it was already too late. Shadowfang's final assault, before the Zoltec leaders could escape. Shadowfang broke into their escape, bunker. Guns raised, grenades ready. Commander Grant spoke. "Game over. You walked into dangerous territory, and now you pay the price." The final firefight was short and brutal. The end of the war. After 3 hours, the Zoltec capital fell. A formal surrender message was sent across the galaxy. The war was over. Earth had won. Celebration on Earth. Back home, cities filled with cheering people, families hugged, soldiers cried. The sky lit up with fireworks. President Graves stood before the entire planet. Her voice was strong and clear. "They thought we were weak. They played a dangerous game. But now, the galaxy knows humanity is the most dangerous force in the stars." But far away, a new threat watches on the edge of the galaxy. In the darkness beyond known space, an unknown alien race watched the war. Their eyes glowed. Their weapons were bigger, their ships more advanced. One of them spoke in a cold voice. "The humans survived the Zoltec. Interesting. Let's see how they handle us." The Zoltec Empire had fallen. Earth had won, but peace was short-lived. Strange signals from deep space, inside Earth's War Command Center. General Kane stood near the communications array. A technician called out, "Sir, we're picking up something strange." Unknown signals. From the edge of the galaxy, Kane's eyes narrowed. Another Zoltec remnant. The technician shook his head. No sir, something else. Something unpredictably dangerous. On the screen, strange symbols appeared. Unknown language, unknown power levels, unknown power levels, unknown ship designs. The AI tried to translate. The result made the entire room go silent. We watched your war. Now we come. First contact, not peaceful within. 24 hours, unknown ships appeared near Earth's outer colonies. Massive, silent, black as the void. Without warning, they opened fire. Entire colonies vanished in seconds. The alien weapons were different. Energy that tore holes in space itself. No shield stopped it. No armor blocked it. Earth's outposts went dark, one after another. General Kane slammed his fist on the table. We're dealing with something highly dangerous. Humanity's emergency response. President Graves called an immediate war council. All admirals, generals, and science leaders gathered. Images showed the new enemies. Ships moving closer, planet by planet. Their codename became the Shadow Legion. Earth's scientists explained. They use spatial disruption weapons. We've never seen this technology before. General Kane spoke. They're not just dangerous. They're the most dangerous enemy we've ever faced. Assembling Earth's last line, with little time, Earth mobilized all remaining fleets. Captain Holt, still recovering, stood up from his hospital bed. His voice was rough, but determined. I'll fly. They want a dangerous fight. They'll get one. Commander Lisa Grant and Shadow Fang geared up again. Sergeant Mason loaded extra explosives. Private Diaz upgraded their hacking systems. Grant's words to her team. They don't know how dangerous we've become. The battle for Mars. The first major fight happened at Mars. The Shadow Legion fleet arrived fast. Faster than any alien race before. Earth's ships formed a wall of defense. Captain Holt, flying the Valiant, led the charge. All units, this is it. Fight like devils. Lasers, missiles, kinetic railguns, nothing seemed to stop the Shadow Legion ships. Their armor regenerated. Their weapons ripped through human cruisers. Dozens of Earth ships exploded. The orbit around Mars became a graveyard. Dangerous ground tactics on Mars ground bases. Shadow Legion ground forces appeared. Black armored soldiers with energy blades. Unstoppable, silent, lethally dangerous. Shadow Fang deployed fast. Commander Grant led close-quarter combat grenades, rifles, knives, everything they had. Mason yelled over the comms. This is like fighting shadows. They just keep coming. Still, Shadow Fang refused to fall back. A dangerous discovery. Private Diaz hacked into one of the enemy devices. His face went pale. Commander, their entire fleet is controlled by one central AI buried deep inside their mothership. Grant understood immediately. Destroy the mothership, or Earth dies. Final dangerous plan. President Graves approved a desperate mission. General Kane explained. We punch a hole through their fleet, get a strike team aboard their mothership, shut down their AI permanently. Captain Holt volunteered to lead the fleet charge. Shadow Fang volunteered for the boarding mission. Everyone knew this was a suicide move, but no one backed down. The suicide charge. The human fleet gathered for one last push. The Valiant led the charge. Fighters swarmed. Missiles flew. Earth's remaining warships threw themselves at the enemy lines. Explosions filled space. One by one, human ships were destroyed. But the path to the mothership opened. Barely. Shadow Fang's dropship sped through the gap, boarding the Shadow Legion mothership. Inside the alien vessel, darkness. Walls moved like living things. Energy spikes in the air. Shadow Fang fought through hordes of black armored enemies. Sergeant Mason planted charges. Diaz searched for the AI core. Grant led the way. Finally, deep inside, they found it. A massive pulsating sphere, glowing with dark energy. Diaz connected his hacking device. This thing, it's more than AI. It's alive. Grant shouted, shut it down anyway. The core shut down with seconds left. Diaz overloaded the alien systems. The AI screeched through every speaker. The walls shook. Shadow Legion ships across the battlefield suddenly froze mid-movement. Their weapons powered down. Their shields collapsed. General Kane watched from Earth Command. It's working. Their fleet is shutting down. Human victory again, one by one. Shadow Legion ships drifted powerless in space. Earth's fleet destroyed the remaining enemies. Mars was saved. For now, the price. The human fleet was almost gone. Millions dead. Cities burned. But humanity stood. Again. Captain Holt, battered but alive, stared at the battlefield. We played the most dangerous game, and won. Commander Grant and her team returned, barely alive. President Graves addressed the planet. We were pushed, attacked, cornered, but we stood, we fought, and we won. Humanity remains the most dangerous force in the galaxy. Final scene. Unknown danger, ahead but far away, beyond the known galaxy. Other ancient civilizations watched the battle recordings. A voice, cold and ancient, whispered in the dark, humans survived again. Interesting, the next war will be even more dangerous. The end.